welcome to Luke's favorite spot.
The Nail Lounge.
Alright, welcome back to Break Even Poker. Episode 3 of the vlog.
Hustler Casino this time. We heard 1,000.
Alright.
Another fucking truck. Look at this. It just started up. No, it's not even worth it. It's not even fucking worth it. Are we gonna include what I said? Alright, whatever. We're playing at Hustler Casino this time, guys.
So we played the 5-5, 300 to 1,000 buy-in. So yeah, pretty nice casino. I actually like the inside a lot.
I like the inside a lot. The chips took some getting used to just because HPC and the bike have plastic chips, like the glossy plastic chips. But these are kind of like thin clay chips, like normal casino chips. But I don't know if I like them or not.
Pretty good hands in the vlog, so stay tuned.
Roller coaster session, honestly. Yeah. But stay tuned. It's gonna be a good one. All right, guys, we're starting off this first hand in the 2-5 streets. Unfortunately, 2-5 we can only buy in for 300, so we're about 60 big blinds deep. We pick up Queen Jack offsuit in the big blind. Cutoff raises to $15. Button calls and I complete. Flop comes Jack of clubs, 10 of clubs, 7 of hearts. I check. Cutoff bets $25. Button calls. I call. Turn is a 4 of diamonds. I check again. Just check into the pre-flop raiser. Cutoff now slows down and checks. Button bets $50. And I just don't believe him right now. So I'm going to call. And the cutoff folds. River is another 7. So now we have 2 pair. And when I check to the button, I'm honestly expecting him to bluff here. I don't know why. I just didn't believe anything this guy was doing. I didn't believe him. He bets $100 and I tank call. And he shows ace king of spades. So he flatted pre-flop with ace king of spades. And it bit him in the ass. So there we go. For our next hand, we pick up pocket aces. Love to see it. We have a stack of 500 now. So we actually have 100 big blinds in this hand. 3 limps to me, and I'm in the small blind. I raise to $25. The button calls, and that is it. Every other limper folds. Flop comes out king of clubs, queen of clubs, jack of spades. So honestly, a disgusting flop for aces. A lot of draws out there, a lot of 2 pairs, but it was a limped pot, so I'm not really putting this guy on too many 2 pairs. So when I bet $20 and he jams for his remaining $105, I just have to call. Even if I'm behind a 2 pair, I can. Did you just shit your pants, bro? Anyways, when he jams for $105 total, I have to call. Unfortunately, it's not too much, and I don't feel good about it, but we call, and we get shown king, queen off, turns a 9, river's a 4, doesn't really change much, we don't improve, and we lose to 2 pair.
All right, so here we are, starting off the 2-5, $300 deep, a solid 60 big blinds. At a 2-5, what a structure. All right, so in this hand, I'm on the button with Jack 10 offsuit. Under the gun, raises to 15. This is like the second hand at the table, so I have no reads. And there's 1 caller in between. I'm pretty sure it's Luke's dumbass. I 3-bet Jack 10 offsuit to $50 on the button. Under the gun calls, and the limper folds. Fuck you, Luke. The flop comes Queen 8-5 with 2 clubs. So it is a queen high board. Should favor my range a little bit more. And we have that gutter, just in case we hit it. It's a bigger pot if I bet here. So I'm going to bet $45 and she calls. The turn is the 9 of clubs. We nail the gutter. Although the front door flush comes in, I'm not too worried about it though because it is a 3-bet pot. So suited hands, not too concerned about him in a 3-bet pot. And she checks and 60 big blinds deep here. I think the only way to go is to jam the remaining like 205 it was. So she tanks for a minute, for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. She just tanks and ends up letting it go. Kind of sucks. Obviously wanted to call there after we avoided the snap call, but it's good to take it down and on to the next one.
So unfortunately, we lose with the aces, but after that hand, we quickly move to the 5-5 and we add on for another 200. Now we have 650 in our stack. So we pick up our first playable hand at the 5-5 with Jack 10 offsuit. 1 limp to me. I raise the low jack to $20. Small blind and the limper call. Flop is ace of spades, queen of spades, seven of diamonds. Checks to me. This board favoring me so much. I think I can bet here, so I see bet $45. Maybe a bad play, but since I have some backdoors, king comes, we pretty much have the nuts, and I just think these guys, since they're limping, they don't have strong hands, so I could take advantage of that. Small blind folds, limper calls. Turn is an 8, so we now have a double gutter. We pick up some more outs, and with this card, I think ramping up the pressure is a good move, just because this particular player would limp a lot of weak hands, and he would fold to multiple streets of aggression. So I bet $110 and he snap folds. So we get the bluff through.
All right, we switch over to 5-5. Second hand of the actual session, we have pocket kings. Great sight to see. The hijack opens to 20. You love to see that. I 3-bet to 60. There's a caller in between, and the original opener min raises to 120. I'm not going to lie. He was an older gentleman, and usually the min raise is aces. And looking for a little bit, but you know, I'm never folding kings here. Don't really want to call because I'm out of position. So just jam it in there. The caller to my left folds, and the original opener doesn't snap call, so figure we have the best hand now. He size and calls. He has me covered. He's maybe has like $1,000, and we run it out. Queen on the flop. He has king, queen, and we have kings, and we scoop fully double. And yeah, great start.
We're building a nice stack here. We have $825 now, up a few hundred, and we pick up fives in the under the gun position. I opened to $20, maybe a little loose under the gun, but this game is pretty soft, as we said before. Big blind calls. We are headed to a flop of 8 of hearts, 3 of hearts, deuce of spades. He checks, I check back. This board does not favor me at all, so I'm just going to hope for a better turn. And the better turn is what we get. We hit the magical 5. He checks, I bet $20, and then we get check raised to $85. Strange scenario, because after he does this, no chance I'm folding. Raising, I think, is a bad play, because then I just take out all his bluffs. So I ask the dealer how much, and we hear an audible groan from him. So some Hollywooding. So he definitely has a strong hand, in my opinion. I end up calling. The river's a 9. The heart draw bricks out, and he leads for $110 now. And again, I ask how much is it to the dealer, and he does a groan again. So he's definitely wants me to call or go like raise him here. So at this point, when he groans, I just immediately jam for his remaining 250 or 300 left, and he calls pretty quickly. We show him the bad news, and he shows 5-2 offsuit. So this guy's a donkey, and hopefully we're going to take his money tonight. We have a pretty sizable stack now. We have 1350 in our stack, and we pick up pocket jacks in the big blind. The button opens to $20, small blind calls, and I'm for sure going to be raising this up. I raised a 110, sizing up a little bit out of position, and the button just makes the call. Small blind folds, and the flop comes out king 8-6 rainbow. I bet $85 just because this smashes my 3-betting range, and I think I have a lot more kings than him. Ace, king, aces, but I choose to bet here for $85 as a bluff, and he calls. So at this point, I'm putting him on either king, queen, king, jack, or king 10, and I'm getting a little worried, so I'm gonna have to ramp up the pressure or just give up. When the turn comes a 4 of hearts, bringing a heart draw, I decide that repping hands like ace, king, or aces is the best chance for me to win this hand, just because it's more likely for me to have those hands than he does. So I decide to bet $160 here, and he calls again. So getting real worrisome here. I'm pretty sure if he does have king, queen, or king, jack, he would call this turn bet as well. So on the river, I'm planning to make a pretty sizable bet in hopes of him folding a better pair than me. The river comes a brick deuce. So that's a good card. Heart draw misses. And I think for a little bit, and I think of a sizing that would look pretty value heavy. If I were to have ace, king, or aces here, how much would I bet? There's about 600 or 700 in the pot right now. So I choose a sizing of 450. And unfortunately, we get the bad news of him calling pretty quickly and showing us ace, king. Didn't put him on this hand at all, especially when he flats from the button in position. I would expect him to 4-bet ace, king offsuit, a lot of the time from the button. Not too sure how many calls you can mix in with that hand, but unfortunately that's what we run into this time, and he has the hand we were trying to rep. So that puts a huge dent in our stack, and unfortunate to run into that.
So in this hand, we're under the gun +1 and have Queen Jack of diamonds, and we open it up to 20. The hijack directly to my left, 3 bets to 70. And I just call, even though I'm out of position, it's a suited Broadway hand. Don't need to 4-bet and lose all my flop equity here. Would just rather see a flop with these cards. But unfortunately, the flop comes 10-6-5 with 2 hearts, so completely brick out. I guess we do have backdoor straight draws. But the good news is it does not hit his range as a 3-better unless he has aces, kings, jacks, or queens. It's pretty much an overpair. So I check it over to him, and he bets 55. Now, this looks like just a classic down bet here. And I decide to go for a check raise to $200. Like I said, this flop hits my range. I have all pocket 10s here. I could have 6s and 5s here. Could have jacks as well, even queens. And he makes the fold, so pretty nice to get this bluff through. All right, so in this hand, we have, once again, pocket kings under the gun +1, and we open to 25 and get 3 callers. So honestly, not feeling too good going 4 ways with kings, especially in this game. So the flop comes 10, jack, 5, rainbow. I bet $60. Seems pretty standard with an overpair here. And only the small blind calls. Now, the small blind was an older Asian woman, and she was also showing down nothing but the nuts, or close to the nuts. Never really putting in bluffs. Every time she would bet, it'd just be for value. But she hesitantly calls this flop bet, and the turn comes an 8. And after she checks, I'm a little sussed out here about jack 10, or maybe even a straight. So I check it back for pot control. The river is a queen, and she leads out for 120. Now, I have my reads on this this woman, and for some reason, I just wasn't playing my best. Not sure why. It seems just like a straightforward fold, especially with the reads that I had. There's just too much here that she has that beats, which is just one pair. But I got caught up with checking back the turn and pretty much convinced myself I had to call off this river bet, and I do, and sadly get shown 9-10 offsuit for the runner straight. So king's going down in flames this time, and pretty much that is most of our profits gone. So pretty much back to starting stack.
After losing that big one, we only have 850 in our stack now, so we're up still up a decent amount, but that one definitely was tilting that I couldn't get the fold, and I ran into the top of his range. We pick up ace king now offsuit. 1 limp to me. I open the hijack to $25, and the limper calls. This is the same guy that's been limping with a wide variety of hands, and he's not too strong of a player. Flop comes out ace of clubs, 3 of clubs, 4 spades. He checks. I bet $15. He calls. Turn is a 4, so I don't see why this card would affect us too much. We're going to keep up with the betting lead, and I bet $40. And he raises to 115. I don't see any other thing to do here besides make the call and evaluate a river. Maybe he's on a club draw. Maybe he's on a straight draw. Who knows? Or maybe he has an ace. River is a brick 9 of spades, and he leads out for $105. I don't think I can do anything here but just call. Folding seems ridiculous, and raising seems suicidal. So we call, and we get shown the disgusting, awful news of the 4-2 of hearts. So he turns trips on us and gets max value from us. So things are turning very sour for this session, unfortunately. We only have 500 in our stack, so we're down about 150 at this table, even on the day. We pick up 8-9 of clubs in the big blind. The button opens to $20. Small blind calls. I complete. We just make the call. We have a playable hand. Flop comes out 9-7-7 and with 1 club. Checks to the button. He continues for $35. Small blind folds. I want to make the call. Turn is a 5 of spades. I check to the button again. He bets $60. I call. River is a 4. I check, assuming he's either going to bluff or bet for value, and hopefully not for too big of a sizing, but he checks back and mucks, and we win. So we show the queen 9 and we're good.
All right, so at this point of the session, it's been pretty up and down. Up 400 to down 200, back to even, up 200. So I think at this point, I'm down maybe like $150. So have like 450 in my stack. Ace queen suited on the gun +1. I open to 20. There's 2 flat callers, and the big blind raises to 120. Now, this is the first time I've seen him 3-bet since he sat down. So with ace queen suited, in position of him, I don't think I need to 4-bet here. I feel like I would just get blown off all my equity if he just jams, and I'm pretty much forced to fold. So he raises to 120, I call, and surprisingly, the 2 other people also call. So we're 4 ways into this 3-bet pot with ace queen suited. Not too sure how to feel. When the flop comes king queen 5 with 1 heart, the 3-better checks, and I'm not gonna bet into 2 other people here, or I'm not gonna bet into 3 other people here. So I check with my second pair, and surprisingly, it checks around. The turn comes a 6 of hearts, so there's a flush draw, but in this type of pot, I don't think that's relevant at all. The initial raiser checks, and I contemplate betting here with second pair because the most person I'm worried about is obviously the 3-better. And since he's checked twice, I don't think he has a king, but once again, I just don't feel comfortable betting into 2 other people in the pre-flop aggressor. Because he could be check raising with, I don't know, maybe like a set of kings or something like that, and just wants to slow play it into 4 other people. Checks around again, so feeling pretty confident. And when the river comes, another queen. It is the queen of hearts, but once again, the flush draw seems pretty irrelevant. When the river comes into queen, I'm feeling very confident now. Initial raiser checks, and I bet $220, and pretty much trying to get a crying call. Luke said he would even bet smaller here. I don't know, 220 just felt right in the moment, especially since I'm betting into 3 other people, and figured any king would call after checking 3 streets. But surprisingly, the 220 gets no action, and somebody shows jacks, and I had no idea what the other people had. But I guess it's good to take down like a $450 pot checking around. So yeah, that was my last hand. We booked a small win for this game. At least we crawled out of the hole. It's just very frustrating that I once again doubled up in the beginning and just keep leaking. Past couple sessions, not playing my best, especially towards the mid section of this session was pretty tilted because just losing all my profits. But we're gonna plug it up soon, and yeah, those are my hands.
All right, last hand of the night. We get a little bit back there. On the other hand, we have a stack of $600 now. We pick up king queen off. The low jack opens to $20, cutoff calls, and I'm going to 3-bet the button to $85, given that this is an offsuit hand. If it was suited, I'd probably mix in some calls, but as I've discussed before, I like to 3-bet both my marginal hands and strong hands just to balance out my ranges. Original opener folds and the cutoff calls. So this is the same limp donkey man that we've had troubles with in the 4-deuce hand and other hands. So when the flop comes out, ace of clubs, 8 of clubs, 3 of spades, he checks to me. I'm going to bet $105 as this again smashes my range, and he calls. So maybe he has an ace here. And then when the turn comes another ace, I'm going to check to him. Seems like a suicidal bet right here. He checks back. River is another ace. So now we have 3 aces on the board with king, queen high. I check. He checks. He shows 8-5 offsuit. We lose to aces full of 8s, unfortunately. So honestly, another sizable pot, and this guy got the best of us in the end. Kind of took all of our profits, and we're going to end this day on a loss.
I hope you guys enjoyed the hands and the breakdowns. The totals for this video, I was up $112 at 2.5, and then up a whopping $71 in 5.5.
I won 151 in the 2.5 game, and then I was up 800 at the high point, and I punted it all away. And I left down in total after the 5.5, I think $597. So about $600 I lost last game.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe, give this video a like, and See you guys next time. Do you have anything else to add besides this shit?
Oh, dude, honestly, I can't breathe right now.
Alright, we'll see you guys later.